2013, and welcome to a special town board meeting. If you would please join me with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Councilwoman Esley. Councilman Marasco.
Here.
Councilman Perticone.
Here.
Councilwoman Skrobach.
Here.
Supervisor DeRizio.
Here.
And attorney for the town.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I would like at this time, if I could have a motion, please, to go into executive session to seek legal advice from our attorney, which is made privileged by law. So if I may have a motion, please. Thank you. Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Let us go, please. session? And a
Move.
second? All in favor
second.
signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay.
Item for board action. Item 10, STB 2013-1, approving the 2014 preliminary budget.
Motion, please?
Yes, ma'am, so moved.
And a second, please?
Second.
Okay. All right. The Town Supervisor of Arundecoit on September 20th, 2013 duly filed the tentative budget for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2014 with the Arundecoit Town Clerk. And whereas the Town Clerk of Arundecoit duly distributed the tentative budget to the Town Board on September 20th, 2013, the tentative budget was considered, discussed, and reviewed at subsequent departmental workshops. Whereas the town supervisor has incorporated all budgetary changes suggested at and subsequent to the workshops, thereby generating the preliminary budget. Now therefore be it resolved that said preliminary budget is hereby approved for the town of Arundecoit for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2014, and be it further resolved that said preliminary budget shall be filed in the office of the town clerk of the town of Arundecoit, and said town clerk is hereby authorized and directed to reproduce copies of the same for public distribution. This resolution shall take effect immediately upon its adoption. Okay, and I would entertain some discussion at this time.
Well, just a great big fat thank you to the supervisor and all the board, all the department heads for another stellar budget, a 0% increase to the residents of the town of Arundecoit, so congratulations. Well done.
Yeah, I also think this is a good budget as well. And what we'll do is we'll have public input on November 7th, and then we'll adopt the final on the 19th of November?
Yes,
Okay.
and you all have in front of you the amendments from the tentative budget to the preliminary. And what I just like to make comments, there were several departments impacted with the purchase of computers. Initially, in the tentative budget, those computer purchases were stated as debt, and now they have been transferred to the equipment category. So there are a number of those items which are listed in front of you. There is a change to the court, an additional change to the court budget, increasing the expenditure line of training by $2,100, and a corresponding increase in the revenue for fines and forfeitures bail. And there is a balancing adjustment also that impacted the contingency line item, and that was $3,496. That came about because the intent was to keep the 651 tax rate the same. Our assessed values from the tentative to the preliminary went down. So therefore, there's a reduction in contingency so that we would keep the same 651. Just keep in mind, assessed values are up from last year, but from the tentative stage to the preliminary stage, they're down. So those were, that's the synopsis of the changes that took place between the tentative budget and the preliminary budget. If you have any specific questions.
Yeah, I have one question. You know, on here you got computers went from debt to equipment.
Yes.
Where does the library fall in on this? They're going to get...
The library has debt, and theirs
And
will
they're-
remain debt.
Okay.
They will go through a debt package with
Okay.
theirs. So basically, what's in their budget represents 1/3 of the cost of the computers that they need.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I also wanted to stress, too, that the consolidated sewer district and the stormwater drainage district rates remain the same as last year, too. They did not increase for 2014. Okay.
Congratulations to our department heads for keeping this flat again, and Annie, our supervisor, and the entire board. It's important that in the 4 years that we didn't raise the tax rate, that be competitive with the other towns. I know the perception was, at least 4 years ago, that we had a very high tax rate countywide, and one of the reasons we've really fought hard to keep it flat so that we are competitive is the other towns are raising their taxes, we stay flat, and thus we are getting more and more competitive. So, great job, everyone.
Yeah, excellent. Well, the only other thing that we still need to address that doesn't need to be reflected in the budget, we have been talking about healthcare benefits for elected officials, part-time elected officials. And we had previously been offering single or family plans with the elected having to pay 15%, right, Barb? I'm sorry, Beth. And so we need to take a look at that. I know we brought it up at the workshop where we discussed the budget for the town board members. And we don't allow any of our part-time employees to have health benefits of any kind. And that was of great concern to me, that the board should reflect what we offer our employees. That being said, we also discussed maybe just offering a single policy. And I know, Beth, that you're going to review the all of the, you go ahead and describe what you're going to do in December.
Tomorrow, we are actually meeting across to get our final rates for Accelis, and expect there will be plan changes. Depend on how these rates come in and what plan changes will be affected.
So we'll be discussing that and probably piggyback on some changes, would be effective January 1st, will come through the year. I wasn't aware of the fact that we offered up to full family policies, and I had a problem. I think elected officials should actually do the same thing that the employees do, and I will reiterate, they get nothing. So we're going to take a look at how that's going to go and maybe do some revisions there, which could stabilize the budget a little bit more, too.
Because there are still some things that I would like to examine to be put in place for the budget for 2014, especially in light of celebrating the 175th anniversary of the town of Arundecoid, and there's some other things that we need to tweak yet.
Great. So we'll be looking forward to having that discussion.
Any other discussion?
That's it for me.
Okay. Hearing none, let us vote. All those in favor of adopting this resolution approving the 2014 preliminary budget signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. And I do not think we have anything else for the good of the order, so if I could have a motion to adjourn, please.
Moved.
And a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are adjourned.
You, ma'am?
Thank you, everybody.